Hello, my name is Marisabel Andrade. I live in Puerto Leguizamo, Putumayo. It is the course Advanced English 2, and this is the task 2, a year abroad. I should develop the learning mobility, high school exchange programs as a part of transnational mobility in this description. Globalization has imposed international policies to lead to higher education institutions to bid on internationalization. Considering as linchpin student mobility being a part of this process, this leads to a change for the students. The internationalization education is achieved through academic programs such as student exchange, study of foreign language, mobilities of academic and administrative staff. Mobility has been a phenomenon. The high school relevance of high school exchange program in Germany is shown. It is an important aspect of the growing mobility of today's youth, not only because it is increasing number, additional due to the young age of the participants and the very intensive integration, the impact on them can be assumed to be considerably higher than with other programs. This applies to their future performance of mobility, to their role in the transnationalization of society, and all these their attitude and world views. Therefore, the most important aspect of high school exchange as a mobility program is that teenage participants learn international mobility and the early phases on their life. They are students between 16 and 18 years old. Long-term programs are defined here lasting from 6 and 12 months. This program usually works in an individual basis, one exchange student being in one family, although there are exceptions. It rather confers to the intercultural exchange that should take place between the student and his or her new family or community. This intercultural aspect is a key factor besides learning a foreign language exchange, as well as to develop personal skills like intercultural competency. This is one of the aspects high school exchange programs from their other stay abroad formats, meaning that living and learning together is the main aim and not work as professional. There are about 16 different agencies in Germany, very different in size. Historically, the student exchange program is one of the older formats. The first student being sent for Germany in 1949. The first teams went to the USA and were in the beginning part of the after-war democratization and re-education program until the 1917. Only few agents operated and sent students in numbers of hundreds. In 1980, there was the first big increase of exchange students due to programs being enlarged, but also because many new agents were funded. Then, from 1980, there was a second and much higher increase to about 12,000 in 2000, which grew to the level of about 20,000 exchange students per year. The phenomenon of high school exchange can be embedded in the context of transnational education research. Since 60 in the most common age to go on high school exchange. So the interesting is that high school exchange is predominantly female. The reasons in particular are yet to investigate. The growing female participation in German higher education in general. Also, girls seem to show bigger interest in language learning. The phenomenon of the rising importance of international mobility is seen in the context of two different concepts. There are transnational social practice and cosmopolitanism. The concept of transnational social practice has been discussed in immigration studies. It is the barrier from problematization of the national state concept and its implication for migration process. People with a good cultural assimilation or bad option of incomplete integration and social exclusion. A transnational social space form action in their routines. Cosmopolitanism is the idea that all human beings are or could or should be members of a single community. In a cosmopolitan community, individuals from different places, nation, state, from a relationship of mutual respect. The intercultural exchange leading to more intercultural competency of the participants to various school performance to a wider view of the world or whatsoever have to be regarded as exposed construction. There is no way to measure the real impact of such an experience as with any experience in life. Whatever way one looks at it, whatever or not something is an impact of an exchange program will always be an interpretation. To put it in other words, it is a social construction. The more interesting question is in what way this is done, and if there is a conscious construction of the other actor himself or something reasoned by his environment or a conclusion of a study, which is a research construction of the order. The former exchange students are not solitary planets. They live in a social world with rules, norms, and values. Language is social construct, and words may have multitude of symbolic meanings that definitely applies for topics within this study, like intercultural competency, cosmopolitan attitude, or international mobility. Some questions to students in research were: how do the actors see the relationship between high school exchange and their other mobility experience? Or how do they evaluate the meaning of their school exchange experience of their life today? Also, what kind of transnational social practice are former exchange students performing? Can this be seen as a part of a normalization of transnationalization of the society? How is this relate to the concept of cosmopolitanism? Can cosmopolitan attitudes be found in non-formal exchange students, or how they? Those respondents who declared having other international experience were asked in what way they went abroad. Again, a multiple choice list of 7 items was given here with the following result. Studying abroad is the most common way to gain further international experience. Also very common is an internship or a job in another country, as well as traveling for a longer period. They didn't point out such as direct causality. These interviews have the idea of a mutual engagement between the interested to go abroad on their early high school experience. The communication with the host country in the qualitative interview, a wide range of intensity of communication was described. On the one hand, some interviews say that they don't have contact. Some told that they have sporadic contact. This means that even a long time after the exchange, the transnational contact in some way for a part of their life. When they remember visiting the host country, one aspect of a physical transnational mobility that is directly reflected in the high school exchange is visit to his host country. Some conclusions are to know the role of high school exchange in Germany. Besides showing it is growing important, focus was laid on long-term effects of this mobility program. The most important point is that mobility reproduces itself. Is that especially school programs play an important role in this. Also that the exchange program play an important role in the normalization of the internationalization of societies. Concerning the cosmopolitan views, it can be assumed that intensive transnational experience led to a more cosmopolitan worldview in general. Also, the gender aspect could be studied, focusing in why school exchange in such a predominantly female phenomenon. Although being a transnational phenomenon, mobility patterns are to a high degree influenced by national institutions like the school system. The high social relevance of high school exchange program in Germany shows it is an important aspect of the growing mobility of today's young, not only because it is increasing numbers, additionally due to the young age of the participants of the very intensive integration, the impact on them can be assumed to be considerably higher than with other programs. This applies to their future performance of mobility, to their roles in the transnationalization of society, and not least to their attitudes and the world views. Therefore, the most important aspect of high school exchange as a mobility program is that teenage participants learn international mobility and early phases of their life.